Tonight on CTV, how ASCSU passing Resolution 5102 is going to help minority vote still have a say in their election.
Then, with vaccination status at an all-time high, a rumor has been spreading around campus that have unvaccinated individuals deeply worried.
That and more here on CTV Channel 11.
Good evening, Rams. I'm Weston Hubbard.
And I'm Kenneth Frederick.
A criminal trial is finally being held after it was originally formed 37 years ago. Stephen Pankey, a man from Greeley who moved to Idaho, is being accused of kidnapping and murdering then 12-year-old Janelle Matthews after being arrested in October of 2020. No physical evidence has been found to link the two together, but the state has moved forward with a case after all this time, after incriminating statements Pankey had made have come out from his former wife. Janelle Matthews had disappeared after a choir concert in 1984, and her remains were not found until 2019. The trial began on October 6th, and we will be able to provide more information as we can as it comes out from the trial.
With cold weather coming in as fall starts, many Fort Collins residents will be turning on their heating systems. But the cost of heating homes is going to be more expensive this year. According to the U.S. government, heating bills may increase by 54%. The price increase comes from two main areas: inflation and the increased prices for fuels. Inflation is an issue gripping the globe currently. Here in the U.S., we've seen an increase of 5.4%, the highest inflation percent raising since the 2008 economic crisis. Natural gas, which heats over half of the homes in the U.S., is 90% more expensive this year than last, reaching a high not seen in 5 years.
Returning to a time when weather was warmer and we didn't have heating bills, ASCSU Resolution 5102, which we reported back on first in September, regarding the endorsement of a ranked choice voting system, has been ratified. The ranked choice voting system has been put forward as a more equitable way to serve the CSU community, especially with low voting rates. It asks the students to rank the candidates in order of their preferability. This is so that if a student's top candidate isn't elected, their vote may go to another candidate in the event of a tie. There was confusion on what the bill would do since it was only a resolution, but Senator Evan Welch explained that the resolution was only an endorsement for further action.
This resolution is just saying, hey, can we try to do this for Attica? Like that's more of just saying, hey, we support trying to do ranked choice voting for our elections.
With the bill finally passing in a vote of 19 to 1, the ASCSU will be looking at creating a constitution amending Lex bill to see their endorsement through.
After President Biden's vaccine enforcement for businesses with over 100 employees, or in this case, for healthcare workers to be vaccinated, UC Health has not lost too many employees. UC Health gave its employees until 11:59 on October 1st to have received the vaccine or have a proper exemption. Otherwise, they would be terminated. Out of their 26,500 employees, only 119 were reported as fired for not receiving the vaccine, 33 of those coming from northern Colorado. In total, that tallies up to only about 0.5% of their total staff.
With vaccination status at an all-time high, a rumor has been spreading around CSU campus that has unvaccinated individuals deeply worried. Checking your school email is just a natural thing that you would do, but seeing a message that you may be arrested is quite alarming. Students of Colorado State University received an email the week of September 27th. Roughly 1,325 students received said email in regards to failure to let the campus know about their vaccination status. The students had until August 18th in order to provide proof of vaccination or to declare an exemption. Before that date, students were sent 7 separate emails reminding them of said date. Students were then sent emails afterwards in regards to lack of compliancy. According to the Turning Point USA, a conservative group with a presence on CSU's campus, the letters sent out in the emails detailed that students would be cited or arrested with trespassing for not providing accurate proof of vaccination. CSU has outright refuted the claims, saying that they do not intend to have any students arrested and are claiming it to be a misrepresentation of the university's communication to students. CSU then put out a statement on October 11th, directly referencing the event. They state that over 2,400 students remain unvaccinated, but are still free to come and go as they please, as long as they have filled out the vaccine status or exemption. Regardless if factual or not, this has caused quite a stir in the eyes of those who are unvaccinated and left them wondering what could happen to them here on campus. Our live reporter Natalie Devereaux will be out next week to get student opinions on the matter.
Cannabis is a $3.5 billion industry, and by 2028, that's expected to grow to over $13 billion. The Panacea Life Science Cannabinoid Research Center is CSU's answer to that growing field. On Tuesday, the university will have its grand opening of the research center in the chemistry building. The building is possible because of a $1.5 million donation from alumna Leslie Butteroff. They will be researching the mental and physical effects of hemp, CBD, and THC. Students are excited to see what fruitful research can be done with the new center.
I think it's awesome. I think it's super important that we have that research right now because it's not federally legal. We don't have any research, and I think that just makes it more dangerous than it needs to be.
Make sure to stay tuned next Thursday when I will be covering the grand opening and some of the research that the new building is hoping to do.
Stick around, Rams.
Morgan Gardner has the latest on fall weather to come.
Awkward. I'm the awkward silence. You try to avoid me, then there I am again.
But an awkward silence can be a great thing.
Like Kelly here is about to demonstrate.
You haven't really been yourself lately. Are you okay?
Find out how you can help a friend with their mental health at seizetheawkward.org.
Good evening, Rams. My name is Morgan Gardner, here to give you the rundown on all things weather. The sun decided to peek out this afternoon after some snow flurries earlier in the day, making way for a pretty cool evening. 40 degrees right now with lows expected to get into the upper 20s. Little bit of wind as well coming from north-northwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour, making way for some evening clouds throughout the evening. As we go into tonight's lows across the region as well, we can expect some lows that we haven't quite seen throughout the week. A little bit lower in terms of temperature, especially in areas like Vail, Gunnison, and Telluride. 14 degrees in Telluride, definitely a lot cooler than it has been for the county this week due to a cold front that has come from the west and going towards the east. Overall, we can expect that a little bit more snow will come throughout the evening, but we shouldn't get any up here in Fort Collins, which is nice. In tomorrow's highs, we can expect some warmer temperatures than we saw today across the region as well, because it is not foreseen to snow or rain tomorrow. In areas across I-25, such as Denver at 55, the Springs at 53, Pueblo at 60, definitely warmer temperatures, with Pueblo and Lamar getting up there in the 60s, definitely having a little bit warmer day than the rest of the region tomorrow. As we go into tomorrow's high for Fort Collins, it is going to be a little bit more sunny. 56 with a low of 30 degrees, some cooler weather, and a lot more wind tomorrow as well. 9 miles an hour west-southwest, with gusts expected to get 12 miles an hour to 15 miles an hour. The sunrise at 7:11 and sunset at 6:19. Going into our 5-day forecast, it's looking a little bit brighter for us this week. Highs getting a little bit up there throughout the weekend and into Monday, with Sunday and Monday being at 72 degrees. It is expected to get a little bit cooler on Tuesday, as some clouds make their way into the region. We have another cold front as well. In Colorado, it's snow, wind, rain, tornado, and fire week all in one. According to alerts from the National Weather Service in Boulder, the state was under 6 weather advisories just on Tuesday. Luckily, there weren't advisories happening in just one place, but it does show that it has been a pretty intense week in terms of weather. Colorado's northern mountains received their first snowfall of the season on Tuesday, while lower elevations mainly saw high winds. Here in Fort Collins, we got some scattered snow showers, and tonight you can expect a little bit more, but nothing too crazy, as well as some thunder, which is definitely an interesting combo, but not the strangest of the week. Now, as snow makes its way through the state, snow makes its way onto the roads. WGAL-TV urges motorists to tell someone where you're going, never pass a snowplow, and always have an emergency kit in your car because it's always better to be prepared. If you're looking to stay updated past the show, the Colorado's Department of Transportation recently launched a new Colorado Trip website that has new features to help you plan and be prepared for road closures, traffic conditions, and other weather advisories. You can check it out at cotrip.org. Now, well, Rams, that is all the time I have with you this evening, but stay tuned after the break for more news.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes, and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But, here's the thing. Can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, commitment, drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume. Discover new ways to develop great talent, like me.
Welcome back from the break, Rams.
Thanks for joining us.
As if road closures and constructions didn't seem like they could continue on, they have found a way to do here at Colorado State University. At 1 p.m. on both Friday, October 15th and Saturday, October 16th, the west entrance to Lake Street parking garage will be closed due to maintenance. However, the exits will remain open. Following that, the General Service Building parking lot 445 will be closed starting Saturday, October 16th, all the way through to Wednesday, September 20th for maintenance as well.
Poudre School District is beginning its district elections, with 4 major positions up for grabs. The positions consist of board seats presiding over School District C, D, E, and G. 3 of the already residing 4 over those districts intend to run again, with the exception being Christopher Ferber, who has already reached his max of 2 terms. If you would like more information on the elections, you can go to psdschools.org/2021-psdboard-election.
At the end of September, we told you about new flights to California running out of the Northern Colorado Regional Airport. Travel enthusiasts will be glad to hear that another destination has now been added to the airport. Flights to Las Vegas will be on Wednesdays and Saturdays, leaving and returning in the afternoon. The flights are provided by Avelo, which started its service to Burbank earlier this month. The service is a few months away and will start on December 15th.
Fort Collins is a city that grows in size and population every day. The United Way of Larimer County is doing its part to look after some of the newer members to the community. They're holding a Newcomer Immigrant Youth Winter Gear Drive as a part of their annual Make a Difference Day program. They're looking for new or very lightly used winter jackets, hats, gloves, and hygiene items. You can drop off items at the Fort Collins Friends Meeting House or Our Savior's Lutheran Church. The drive will be ending on Monday.
Last year, Coloradans voted on Proposition 114 for the reintroduction of gray wolves back into Colorado's ecosystem starting in 2023. It passed back in November by a margin of less than 1%, but it seems that the wolves have decided to come to us instead. Chris Kurtrecki is a bow hunter in Jackson County. He was driving to a spot he visited last year when he spotted what looked like black dots. Wildlife experts have confirmed that the video showed Colorado's first native-born wolf pups in over 80 years. In 2019, 2 collared wolves came down from Yellowstone Park and were seen to exhibit denning behavior. Kurtrecki's video has a sign of things to come as Colorado gets ready to start its own reintroduction program. Well, Rams, that is all the news we have for you tonight.
But stick around for the latest on sports with Cameron Evig.
And later, the best in entertainment from Tom Isaacson here on CTV.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help. You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
What's up, Ram fans? Welcome back to another week of Cam's Corner. I'm your host, as always, Cameron Evig. I know we're only a few weeks into conference play, but CSU football is first in the Mountain West standings right now. Who would have seen that one coming after a 1-2 start? You know what they have to do to stay atop that Mountain Division. Plus, NBA season tip-off is less than 1 week away. How will the Denver Nuggets fare in what seems to be an always stacked Western Conference? I'll let you know what I think. All that and more starting on Cam's Corner right now. Rams football is coming off a huge conference win over San Jose State last weekend on homecoming. And as I said before, they actually sit atop the Mountain West standings right now. That's crazy. And okay, they are only 1-0, but they'll have a good chance to extend the lead this weekend when they play New Mexico in Lobo territory. Coming into this one, New Mexico is 0-2 in conference play after 2 blowout losses to some of the best teams the conference has year in and year out, Air Force and San Diego State. And to say the least, the Lobos haven't exactly looked impressive this season, and the Rams should be able to start a bit of a win streak come Saturday. They lost to Air Force by 4 touchdowns, and their quarterback had to throw 2 passes. Not to mention, he completed 1 pass. And New Mexico still lost. Now, I guess it's my job to say something positive about New Mexico so it doesn't seem like I'm bashing them. So I guess I'll bring this up. The transfer for Kentucky, Terry Wilson, had some really nice throws this year and has some scrambling ability. But unless CSU catastrophically fumbles this bag, they should improve to 2-0 in conference play. The Lobos haven't beaten the Rams in 10 years, and I do not see that changing come 5 in the evening on Friday. CSU's just way more talented, and University Stadium and its crowd doesn't exactly scare me, to say the least, especially with a team that's struggling. But hey, we'll just have to see how things play out. I know New Mexico badly wants this dub. All right, dribbling things from University Field to the Footprint Center. The Denver Nuggets tip off their season in Phoenix next Wednesday against the defending Western Conference champs that swept them last postseason. And their home opener against the new-look Spurs comes right after that on Friday. So now that Mile High basketball is finally back, how far can they go this NBA season? It has to be farther than the second round of the playoffs, right? Well, going into the year without their second option, Jamal Murray, is going to be a tough obstacle in the way of Denver's path to a championship. But with or without Murray, there's still a lot of hope for this team to make a deep playoff run. Monte Morris should fill in that point guard spot just fine. And hey, Bones Highland has looked really good in the small sample size that we've gotten so far from the Nuggets 2021 first-round pick. We already know that MPJ has to play at an all-star level for the Nuggets this year, especially after that shiny new contract he got. But the key to the Nuggets team being successful is Aaron Gordon. The high-flying power forward signed a 4-year, $80 million contract to stay with the Mile High crew this offseason. But like Porter Jr., he has to produce more on offense to earn that big paycheck. Going 0 for 8 on three-pointers in the Western Conference semis just is not going to cut it this year. Squads like the Lakers, Mavs, Jazz, and Suns are all really good. But if the big four of MPJ, Murray, Gordon, and of course the defending MVP, Nikola Jokic, this Nuggets team could beat anybody. Let's hope for another fun year of Mile High basketball. And now it's finally time to see who our Ram of the week is, and then follow it up with the best play I saw from CSU Sports this week. My Ram of the Week this time out, making his already second appearance. I mean, was there a question? It's got to be my guy, Caden Camper. The CSU specialist has been on fire lately, making his last 11 kicks, with his most impressive one coming on Saturday when he nailed a 52-yarder with ease. Oh, and on top of that, he set a school and conference record, going 6 for 6 against the Spartans. He's also second in the nation in field goals per game. After starting the season out 1-4, this guy really bounced back. I literally couldn't have picked anybody else for Ram of the Week. And speaking of the gridiron, the play of the week also comes from CSU football. But this time, it's from the duo of Todd Centeo and Ty McCulloch. Look at Centeo in the pocket. Ty McCulloch down the sideline, wide open, extending that lead, getting that touchdown necessary to win the game against San Jose State. We need a lot more of that from Todd Centeo. And well, Rams, that's all I've got for you tonight, but make sure to stick around for Tom Isaacson to give you a rundown on all of your entertainment news. You won't want to miss it. Thanks, Rams, and I'll see you next week.
Queen is just my everything. Right now, I wouldn't know where my life would be without her.
They say chivalry's dead. It's not. Terrence is a gentleman. He opens doors. His smile did it. His smile, his eyes, his knowledge. My landlord, he decided that he wanted me to move based on the fact that I was transgender. It takes me to a place of no hope. It takes me to a place of loneliness. It saddens me. When you discriminate against somebody in housing, where do these people go? Let's just respect people in everyday life for just being human.
Good evening, Rams and Ram fans. My name is Tom Isaacson, and welcome back to your entertainment wrap-up for the night. And as usual, we haven't a second to waste, so let's get straight into it. Coming up this weekend, we have an awesome event at Fossil Creek Nursery called the Harvest Festival. The event begins on Saturday at 11 a.m. and will be going on all day. Events include hay rides, music, game booths, costume contests, a pumpkin patch, and so much more. As an avid lover of all things fall, this sounds like a fantastic family outing. To RSVP, just head over to the website for admission details. It's www.fossilcreeknursery.com. Now, many students returning to campus this year have noticed something particular about the entries to the main campus area. This roundabout bikeway has caused some considerable confusion among students. Thankfully, CSU has been granted some funds from the Colorado Department of Transportation to make improvements to the bikeway to make it less confusing and more accessible to students. I, for one, as a cyclist, am very grateful. All right, how many of you out there are using Uber or Lyft? Now, how many of you out there are using Ramride? What, you don't know what that is? Well, let me turn it over to my favorite anchor on the scene to tell you more. Tom?
Thanks, Tom. Now, we've all been there. Too much fun on a Friday night, and you can't drive home. You shouldn't drive home. That's too irresponsible and stupid. But did you know as a CSU student there is a really awesome alternative?
This is Ramride.
With ASCSU, and they just saw kind of like took initiative to want to create a safe ride program for students to really help combat drunk driving and to really ensure that students had a safe ride home.
Ramride, a program started in 2003 by the ASCSU, and it was built for all CSU students.
CSU students are our primary target, and so we really advocate for all of our CSU students to utilize Ramride. We are free, right? And we're a free safe ride program, and I think for our students that's something that is really important to them, to be able to get not only a free ride home but a safe ride home where they know that the students behind the wheel and the students in the vehicles are going to be CSU students.
You heard that right. Ramride is completely free to use, so there's no reason not to use it on a Friday night. You can download the app on the App Store, or you can call the office phone number on the website.
Ramride right now is only operating within the city of Fort Collins, and so it's operating within those limits. And so we've really used kind of what the city of Fort Collins has like stated out or outlined for us.
And more than that, Ramride is growing and branching out to be even more helpful.
We have added Ramride Food Ops, and so that is a partnership that we have with Rams Against Hunger. And we help deliver food boxes to CSU student staff and faculty within the Fort Collins area.
Thanks, Tom, for giving such an excellent report. And might I say, you looked fabulous. Ramride is definitely something I'm going to keep an eye on, and I have a suspicion that the word free will leave a mark on students' minds too. All right, Rams, do I even need to introduce this properly anymore? You know what time it is. So let's check out what I found for the clip of the week. Ta-da! Many of you at home probably recognize this, the Rubik's Cube, a true show of intellectual genius. And of course, I am unable to solve it. But why does that matter when computers are aimed to take over anyway? I mean, just watch this.
Solving in 3, 2, 1.
That robot solved the Rubik's Cube in 0.38 seconds, which is actually faster than the average time it takes for you to blink. It literally solved that cube in the blink of an eye. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother. And with all of that, Rams, we are out of time. Thank you all very much for tuning in tonight. We hope you have a fantastic and warm weekend, and we will see you next time. Good night.